Which one, bro? They posted one 11 hours ago. 3 true McDonald's horror stories, animated. All right, bro. Let's see. Hey, bro, stop spamming TOS already. Yo, chill.
Strangest thing.
TOS in what? 3 minutes?
That has happened to you in a McDonald's. Surely everyone will tell you that they found a bug in their food, or that they saw a fight. But what I experienced, much worse. This happened to me while I was cleaning the McDonald's parking lot. It was a normal day, and as usual, the only thing on my mind was thinking about going home as soon as possible. While I was lost in thought, I began to hear footsteps approaching me. It didn't sound like the footsteps of a customer or a friend leaving with their food. They were the halting and furtive footsteps.
Is he naked? Literally, he not naked. Then what is he? What type of clothes did he got on, bro?
Of someone stalking me. Those footsteps were coming from behind me, and they stopped the moment I turned around. I could vaguely make out someone hiding in the shadows. Did they want to rob me?
Who's there?
I plucked up my courage, grabbed the cleaning supplies, and decided to run to the front door.
2-part 2 story times? I owe a lot, bro. I'll be dragging it down.
Suddenly, a silhouette interrupted me and stood in my way. It was a woman I knew.
I think I owe y'all
Her
like
name was Sandra. She was a well-known girl in
I gotta
the
drag it
area.
out. Y'all gotta show me y'all winning, bro. Y'all got twin likes on other ones. The other parts.
Sometimes she could be a very sweet girl.
They not showing meat on YT. You wouldn't believe what they show on YT, bro.
Though we knew she worked the streets,
You wouldn't believe it.
she was very nice to everyone and never got in trouble. Other times, it was different.
I was watching Boondocks back when I streamed on YouTube. I was watching Boondocks. They showed Buddy whole
Some
Boondock meat,
classmates
but the
told
grandpa they
stories
showed his whole
sometimes that
meat
she
on
had
Boondocks
threatened them
on
or tried to
YouTube.
hit them.
Had to
But
shrink
those
quick.
were only rumors. That day, she was stranger
Never
than
watched
usual.
Boondocks, bro.
She was in her underwear.
Ban lustful, yes or no, bro? Should we ban lustful, yes or no?
And even though she
Is
had
that
known me
TOS?
for months, she tried to sexually
What? Is she pregnant?
proposition me, which I refused. That's when the chaos started. Furious, she pulled out a knife and pointed it at me.
Who the hell do you think you are to reject me? Do you think
No, ban.
you're better than me? Do you think I'm
Sorry,
worthless?
fraud,
No,
ban,
Sandra,
No, no.
I'm working.
Dude.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disrespect you.
Oh my
What's
goodness.
wrong? Are you all right?
Where am I?
Nah, this
What's
not TOS. I don't
going
think so.
on?
Kick contract.
Sandra, you were...
Interrupting me, she lunged
Why they
at me and
always
threw
gotta
me to the
have somebody
ground.
naked, half
She raised
naked
her
in
knife
these
with her
IMR
eyes
videos,
closed
bro. Like, yo,
and brought
just,
Eyes. She missed. The knife had embedded itself in the ground by the side of my head, without touching a hair on my head. She raised
Did you do lock screens yet?
her knife and drove it into the floor, again and again. For her last attack, Sandra opened her eyes and tried to stick it into me. But I stopped her, and by squeezing her wrist with enormous force, I managed to get her to let go. When I saw her face a second later, I realized that I hadn't outmatched her strength. She had simply zoned out.
He's not lying.
She had a blank stare and drool was dripping from her mouth. It looked as if she had rebooted. From one second to the next, her eyes seemed to zone in and out of focus. When they returned to normal,
only 2 minutes in,
she
bro.
acted like I wasn't even there, and then she ran into the McDonald's. Without wasting any time, I stood up and followed her
I
at
would
full
never work at
speed.
McDonald's. Bro,
Hey, how are
She
you?
really walked into McDonald's like this, bro?
Sandra, you can't come in like that. Put on
She
a
off of perk 30 now. She off that K2, bro. Y'all seen what young boy was doing. She off
shirt.
What did you just say?
Oh no, be careful.
Before my coworker Greg could
nah.
react, Sandra desperately ran up to him and tried to hit him, but he dodged her and fell to the floor. Before he could get up, Sandra displayed brutal force and lifted the huge cash register to throw it at his prone
Foaming at the
figure.
mouth, too.
Her eyes were red and she was foaming at the mouth. It was terrifying. She was behaving as if she had turned into a monster. I ran towards her and managed to push her away.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't this bold, bro. Y'all bold enough? Hey, if y'all see a crackhead foaming at the mouth, holding a what you call these, bro? A cash register above her head like these, bro.
Behaving as if she had turned
And
into
you
a
gonna hit her
monster.
with one of them?
I ran towards her and
I ain't gonna lie. He a bold individual for that, bro.
managed
I respect
to
it.
push her away just as she threw the
He had
cash
enough.
register, which
He
smashed to the floor, narrowly missing Greg.
Oh, it missed him. I about to say, don't tell me it smashed his head.
Even more frustrated with not being able to kill him, She started banging on all the
She look like she been eating a little too much McDonald's though.
tables with the
Crackhead strong. I'm not getting involved.
terrifying war
He's wild
cry.
for that, bro.
The few customers that were still left at this
I'm saying, why were customers still there? What?
time of night began to run as she lifted up the chairs and threw them against the glass.
Oh my
It worked
goodness.
out because there were no more people in danger of the projectiles. We were now alone with her.
Why did they not run out with the customers? Just leave her in the McDonald's. Y'all not getting paid? No, hold on. No. How much do McDonald's workers make? Because it's just no way. Bro, $7.73 an hour is worth your life, gang? Really? Really? We gotta do better, bro. We gotta do better, bro.
Sandra, calm down.
Please.
I don't get paid
Help
to tell
me.
Sandra to calm
Of
down.
course, we all want to help you. Calm
I don't get
down.
paid to help
Let
Sandra.
go of that needle.
Not enough.
Needle? What do you mean?
In answer to my question, my coworker saw Sandra's hand and, although it was
Got
very
a
small,
heroin needle?
I could see a needle left in her hand.
Oh no.
Why do you want to help me? Nobody can help me. I don't need your help.
Watch out! Her face changed again!
With the needle in
Really wanted
hand,
that big bag.
Sandra rushed at me again, this time more determined than ever. She attacked me with the syringe and I managed to lock her hand. We both struggled to force the needle the other way.
Damn it, help me! Oh, sorry.
I don't think
Security
it's
should take care of this.
video
Oh, I'll go
games
call
be having
them.
crazy.
No! Come help me! You coward!
It's
While I
crazy,
was
though.
distracted,
I won't lie, if I
the
was
woman
to say
kicked
this
me
is
in the
not
stomach
crazy.
and I fell backward.
She need him in the nuts, bruh.
She was about to pounce on me
Nobody lose all his kids.
again,
Watch another video. This trash.
and this time I
Not
couldn't
trash.
do anything
If you call this, bro, this is
to
action
stop her.
packed.
But to my
Trash.
luck, the
It's some
strangest
action-packed
thing
trash
happened.
then.
As if someone had flipped a switch.
A car gonna come. Watch. How much I want to bet a car is gonna come run her over.
Sandra decided not to attack me anymore
Oh, never mind. I swear. I say. I.
and instead ran over to
I
the
don't know what
ice
I
cream
thought this
machine
was,
to
bruh.
feed herself.
What?
I thought a car was
Ice
through the
cream.
window.
I ran in her direction and managed to get the syringe off.
You know what'll kill her, bro? If she can eat this McDonald's ice cream, if y'all like throw some McDonald's Sprite on her, bro, I'm telling you, she's cooked.
She didn't even put
Y'all
up
know
any
that's poison.
resistance. She just kept devouring ice cream. A few seconds later,
Why'd
Greg
cop
and the
running like
security
that?
guard showed up and detained her until the police arrived a little while later
Took
and took
long
her
enough.
away. Soon after, we found out that Sandra hadn't been under the influence of any drugs. Although she told everyone that
Bro,
she
get out the
struggled with
com- get out
multiple
the chat saying
personality
that, bro.
disorder,
This nigga
she had
wildin'.
absolutely no memory of what had
See how
happened to
crazy
her.
this looks? Yeah, this
And when
looks
she saw
insane.
the
I
security
won't lie, but it's
video,
supposed to be insane.
she
It's
cried
scary. It's a scary
uncontrollably.
story.
Today she is off of the streets and is receiving help in a recovery center. As for my coworker and the security guard, they were kicked out shortly after. The cameras captured how Greg almost left me to die, and the security guard had been sleeping in
Buddy, oh my goodness, bro. I'm about to die. Look at Buddy. Look at Buddy. Yeah. Oh yeah, he, boy.
an office throughout
What?
the ordeal. As for me, I still work at McDonald's,
Zay, I bet I
but
have
never
the best
again
lock
will I
screen.
agree to work the night shift.
All right, what's this story in?
These are the actual mug.
What? This was. Wait, what? Y'all tell me what we gonna do, bro. This real?
Shots of
Yes, this is
Sandra
real.
Suarez, who entered
It did-
McDonald's
oh,
on
wait, oh.
approximately March
It does
24th,
say 3 true
2014,
McDonald's
wearing
horror
only
stories.
underwear. After destroying the premises, security
They got
restrained
hot
her
tub
while
bro.
she was eating ice cream. Sandra had no recollection of what happened and attributes it to her having
That's
multiple
crazy how they prove her
personality
so
disorder.
accurate though. That is insane. That is insane. Hold on, let me check out your lock screen though, bro. You need to delete this, bro. You need to delete this, bro. You need to delete this, bro. You a grown man, bro. Another grown man has your lock screen. Delete that.
I had been working night shifts at a
not your
McDonald's
fault.
restaurant with my best friend Rachel for about 3 months. We needed the extra cash for rent and also
so
for
now this
school
is different,
stuff.
bro. Let's start story 2, understanding that this is about to be a real story, bro.
I had been working night shifts at a McDonald's restaurant with my best friend Rachel for about 3 months. We needed the extra cash for rent and also for school stuff. In that short period, I had unfortunately attended to a lot of creepy and weird individuals. but nothing could have prepared me for what happened that very night. It felt like another slow night. It was almost 9:30 p.m. and we had barely gotten any customers. Rachel and I were thinking of closing early because she had a date and I didn't mind catching some extra hours of sleep. Suddenly, the doors swung open. A mysterious-looking man walked in. He was wearing a top hat and sunglasses. I mean, who wears shades at night? He also had a dreary-looking trench coat on. It was a bit unsettling and just out of style. He slowly glanced around the room for a few seconds before walking to a table. Rachel had an abrupt bathroom emergency, so it meant I had to go take his order. I took a deep breath, grabbed the order menu, and wore a fake smile. After I was ready, I walked to his table. He was on his phone.
No way he really looked
Good
like
evening,
this.
sir.
Was this
Welcome to
Abraham Lincoln from
McDonald's.
the dead?
May I take your order, please?
I said. It was almost like he didn't hear me, but after a few seconds, he spoke. "I'll have 2 large burgers, extra fries, and a Diet Coke." His voice was deep, and I'm pretty sure there was a bit of a southern accent in there. While writing the order, I could feel the heat of his...
suspect yet. Well, we know he will because it's a scary story, but bro, you can't just... Are you telling me if you work at McDonald's? See, that's that Chirac mentality, bro. A suspect dude walk in McDonald's, y'all just boom him then dip, bro. That's what y'all be doing in Chicago, bro.
Gaze on me. He had taken off his sunshades. It was common for men to stare and probably ask for your number later, but when I lifted my head, I realized he wasn't staring at my face or anywhere else. He was staring at my hands. There was a creepy look in his eyes and an almost demented smile on his face. He looked mesmerized. I knew there was nothing special about my hands. I didn't even have nail polish on. I cleared my throat audibly.
Will that be all, sir?
I asked. "Not at all," he briskly responded. "I say you have very beautiful hands. Do you mind if I touch them?" He asked. I would have never touched him with...
All right, now, once he says that, now you boom him.
The 10-foot pole.
Now he gets
but
the
then
boom.
I thought maybe he was some hand modeling
Boom his ass,
agent.
bro. Talking
Plus,
about
I was
touching
also
hands.
hoping not to make things weird so I could get a good tip.
Okay.
Y'all be tipping the waitress at McDonald's? What? Get a good tip? What she think this is? Metro Diner?
I stretched my hands
And she letting him touch it? Yo, she's asking for it. He about to eat it.
out.
He
He
about to
took
bite
off
him.
his leather hand glove, reached for my hand, and began to caress it.
Ew, bruh. I get it though, bruh. $7.73 per hour. I get it.
Softly. His hands felt rough and edgy, like he had been plowing a farm all day. Things quickly became awkward and almost sexual. I retracted my hands and feigned a stifled chuckle.
Okay, sir. I should go get your order now.
I quickly walked away. It was a very
All the cops, bruh.
nerve-wracking experience, and it probably was
You
the
know what
first red
popped up on my
flag.
TikTok?
Luckily
Some
for
of the
me,
shots
after I was done with the order, Rachel was back from her emergency. I asked her to help me take it to the table, but I didn't mention anything else to her. She casually walked to the table and delivered the order. They exchanged a few words, and then she walked back.
What did he say?
I abruptly asked.
Oh, nothing. I think he was trying to hit on me.
Yes, boom his ass.
He asked what time we were getting off, and he gave off some pretty cringy vibes. Definitely not my type.
Rachel responded, then walked back into the kitchen.
Oh, you said book.
I pondered on her
Book
words a
him, boom
bit,
him. Do both at the
then
same
ultimately just concluded I was overthinking it. Big mistake.
Yeah, the chat is delayed. I ain't gonna
A few
lie.
minutes
Y'all
later-
like five to like 10 seconds behind me. I won't lie.
Later, he just stood up and left. He had barely even touched his meal, and he paid in full and left a huge tip on the table. Rachel and I decided it was also time to close up. It was about 10:15 p.m. We packed it in and turned off the lights. It was already dark out, but our apartment was like 3 blocks away. I waited with her till her boyfriend came to pick her up. We said our goodbyes, and then
they left her alone? Bro, co-worker, you left a grunt, bro, come on now. Light shift, night shift, closing, you leave your... Oh, no.
drove off. They were going in the opposite direction, so I didn't ask for a lift. I began my short stride home. The walk
home too, she knows. Nah, that ain't right, bro.
way was
That ain't
pretty
right at all,
lonely.
bro.
Aside from the few street lights that weren't flickering on and off, it would have been pitch black darkness. I would usually walk home with Rachel, but on nights like that, I had to fly solo. After a while, I began to hear stumping footsteps behind me. I looked over my shoulder. The person was shrouded in darkness, and he was too far behind. I continued walking. Seconds later, I noticed that his pace had hastened. He was gaining on me. My heart began to race. My first thought was that he was probably a mugger with jittery hands.
Oh, wait, whoa. Say it again?
To race.
Probably
My first
what?
thought was that he was probably a mugger.
Okay, he better be a mugger. Boy, okay.
With jittery hands, I slipped out pepper spray from my bag and concealed it. I never leave home without it. I could feel he was right behind me. My heart was about to leap out of my mouth. In a moment of courage, I swung around so I could spray him. But to my shock, there was nobody there. I felt my mind was just playing tricks on me again. I cut a sigh of relief and tucked in my pepper spray. But as I was about to turn around, a large man pounced.
That was crazy. That was crazy. I ain't gonna Nah, that was
my pepper.
Bro, I know. Alright. Y'all delayed. I'm not gonna say pussy this, L, whatever, bro. Y'all say L scared, whatever y'all want to say.
But as I was
it,
about to turn around, a large man pounced on me and pushed me to the ground. It happened so quickly. It was the same man from the restaurant.
What's he doing?
It happened so quickly. It was the same man from the restaurant. He pinned my left hand to the ground with one hand while I struggled, and then he pulled out a knife from his trench coat. I was scared to death. It looked like he wanted to cut off my hand, but before he could go through with it, I managed to slip out my pepper spray. I fired straight into his eyes. While he was wiping his eyes vigorously, I drove my knee into his gonads.
His gonads? That's what you call that?
Hard, and he fell off me. I scrambled to my feet and frantically sprinted home while screaming at the top of my voice. I bolted my doors and immediately dialed 911. The entire ordeal had me shaken up for days. It took the police about 2 weeks to find the man. They traced him to his suburban home where he lived alone, but that wasn't all. Upon forced entry, the police uncovered a concealed basement, and within the basement, they found disturbing and gut-wrenching sight of severed hands hanging all over the walls.
Nah, this is
the man
crazy. But y'all, chat, remember, this is real.
Was put on death row.
Death row?
The police are still trying to find the owners of the severed hands.
Bro, you're not gonna find, bro. What? How are you gonna do that?
If they're still alive, that.
If this is real, bro, it's real.
Yes.
It's real.
I'm just glad mine didn't end up on some sick freak's wall as a trophy. When
Why didn't they show the backstory to that? Was that one not real?
First took the job of a manager at McDonald's, the owner walked me through a few rules that I'd have to follow to keep the place running. Look, Nathan, no matter what Joe says, don't ever let him be Ronald McDonald. Sorry, what? I know it sounds weird, but trust me on this one. Joe is the cleaning guy who worked for McDonald's, and he seemed sweet irrespective of how he looked. I've always believed in not judging a book by its cover, so when the owner mentioned that, I got confused. But what's wrong with Joe? No one can answer that. He just has this crazy fandom for Ronald McDonald. For months, he's been pestering me to allow him to dress up as Ronald and let him entertain our guests, but that can't happen. Never, ever. I hope that's clear to you. I guess so. Good. You can go back to work now. Best of luck. I didn't want to ask him more about the matter, as it was my first day and I still needed the job. So I just decided to follow what he said. The next day, the moment I stepped into work, I was face to face with Joe. Holding a broom and wearing an ear-to-ear smile on his face, Joe asked, "What time will you be free? I need to talk to you about work." Let's see, Joe. It's my first day and a lot is expected of me. Maybe when we both get done, I'll hear you out. Okay, I'll finish with my work as well. The day started well and customers kept coming, but when the clock struck 7, I heard a kid scream coming from the tables. I rushed over and saw the kid crying and his mother yelling at one of our waitresses.
I'll sue you guys for this. How irresponsible are you? Leaving a nail on a child's food?
Excuse me, ma'am, I'm the manager here. Please tell me what the issue is. The woman showed me a big nail and said that she found it in her kid's burger. We compensated them with free meals and gave them enough coupons for them to eat for a month at McDonald's.
Why would they want to come back, bruh?
The owner was out of town and I wanted to do my best to stop this news from spreading, so I called out an emergency meeting. I asked the chefs how this could have happened, to which they said they had no idea. No one could make out how a nail had ended up in a burger. We need to do something to keep this news from spreading, guys. If this gets to the owner, all of us can kiss our jobs goodbye.
How about I dress up as Ronald and entertain our customers? I have so many ideas that'll make them come here for more. Please, Nathan.
Everyone looked at me like it would be a terrible mistake, but judging the situation, I made the call. Something is better than nothing, right? Fine, Joe, you're on it. Do whatever it takes to blow our customers away.
You won't regret this.
Joe left and we all got on with the rest of our day. I could hardly sleep that night, though. I was worried that the owner was going to snap at me once he found out what happened today. The next day, when I arrived at work, I didn't see Joe anywhere. I started asking around for him, and then the restaurant door opened, and in walked Joe. He was dressed as Ronald McDonald, and I kid you not, nothing about his appearance seemed appealing. The costume was normal, but the makeup was a little over the top. It was heavily caked on, smudged all over his not-so-inviting face, which served to make him a creepier version of Ronald. But he would be giving kids balloons and toys, so no one was going to focus on his looks. Customers started to come in, and Joe stood at the door greeting them. Everything was going fine until I overheard a conversation between Joe and a 9-year-old
What did EDP say, bro? I call EDP from the jump, bro.
girl.
I don't like hide and seek.
Then we can play this new game. It's called Tickle Fight.
Oh my goodness. I mean, tickle fight.
What kind of a game is that?
Fun. You can tickle all over my belly and I will tickle your feet. What do you think?
I don't want to play that either.
The kid went back to her table
Go tell your parents ASAP. I hope she tell everybody, but I would have started screaming I was her, bro.
and I immediately called Joe to my office.
Yo, what are you doing?
Sandra said you wanted to see me.
When I confronted him, he spoke like what he said to the 9-year-old girl wasn't that big of a deal. Joe, you can't touch the kids or ask them to touch you. We can get in trouble for that.
Oh, I just wanted to make the kid smile. She was being so grumpy from the start.
No tickle fights, okay? Maybe just entertain them without any physical interaction. Is that clear?
Fine. I will try plan B.
Joe left with a sour face, and I began to consider the owner's words. Did I make a mistake saying yes to Joe? I might have rested in the office for 10 minutes when I heard a scream. Ah! Are you crazy? You just gave us a heart attack. This isn't funny. I again rushed outside and saw Joe sitting in the back seat of a customer's car.
Joe, what are you doing?
The couple was leaving with their
What are you doing?
takeout. When they got inside the
Yeah, poke him, then boom him. No, how about you boom him, then poke him to make sure he's not alive?
car, Joe jumped on them, screaming.
I'm loving it.
I took the customer's reproach on behalf of Joe and returned their money by giving them free food. Once the customers left, I became furious. What the hell is wrong with you? You know what? Everyone warned me about what a freak you are, but I just kept giving you chances. You're fired, Joe. Just take your things and get lost.
Get up out of
Joe
here,
didn't say a single word. His mouth hung open like he had just received the shock of his life.
He about to pop up at Buddy's house. We all know this, bro.
Then his left eye twitched. Tears rolled down his cheek, but not once did he cry. Taking his red wig off, he said in a low, creepy voice,
I'm loving it.
You will regret this, Nathan.
Oh my goodness, dude.
I went home in a bad mood. I don't remember when I passed out on the couch, but a sudden sound woke me up. I realized it was coming from my room.
Big guy. You gonna hear him
As I
come in
pushed
your house.
open the door of my room, I saw the most horrible sight. Joe had gotten in from the bedroom window I left open, and he was scribbling all over the wall with red crayons.
I'm loving it on the wall.
Joe, what do you think you're doing? He turned his face to me, and his makeup was messily smudged, making him look more horrible than ever.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Close the door.
He went on ruining my walls until the cops came and took him away. I later heard he was sent to a mental institution.
Yeah, he needed it.
Somewhere deep down, I
Jose,
think
you
the
can lie all
nail
day
ending
today.
up
I
in
didn't
one of our
know.
burgers had to have been Joe's work.
Yeah. Yeah, AWIMR, bro.